Hey people, welcome to the Photo Mama podcast. Conversations on all things motherhood, photography and life. I'm Ikoja Mercy Haruna, but you can call me Mercy. I'm a photographer and a mom of two beautiful babies.
And I'm Elsie Kifuengare. I'm also a photographer and a mom of two. In today's episode, Mercy and I had a chance to speak to a few people who are involved in the new book on motherhood, I Mama, Poetic Truths of Home and Motherhood. The book by Karni Arieli showcased motherhood from around the globe, and it was released on the 8th of May. The book was officially launched on the 15th of May at the Centre of British Photography, with two further launches at the Photo Book Cafe in London on the 30th of May and the Royal Photographic Society in Bristol on the 2nd of June. At the Royal Photographic Society, there's an outdoor exhibition happening, and it will be there for around 3 months. So if you're in the area, please go and check it out. What we wanted to do with this episode is talk a little bit about the book because my co-host Mercy was featured in it.
Woo.
And and we wanted to do like a pre-intro of the book before we head on to the episode that was recorded at the launch in London at the Photo Book Cafe. Hey Mercy, how are you feeling today?
Hey, I'm good. It's nice and warm in London. Well, not in London, in Kent, in the UK. So I'm really, really happy. How are you?
I am fine, thank you. Enjoying the nice warm weather. Even though I'm indoors recording this episode, I should be outdoors enjoying the sunny weather.
I'm sorry, but I'm not one of those people who's blessed not to have hay fever. So until my antihistamine kicks in, I will not be going into the garden or anywhere else because I suffer.
Oh dear. Right. So you were featured in this book. Could you talk us through on how this came about?
Yeah, I think I started following iMama in 2020, or she started following me. I can't remember how it happens. You know how social media is. We started following each other in 2020 or 2021, and it was just really nice to start seeing collections of mothers, mostly mothers, I guess, documenting their kids, their family life. You know, that's what I'm all about. So I was like, oh, it's so nice to see other moms doing this all over the world. And then I just kind of saw the followership growing, the community growing and growing and growing. And it was just really lovely to see that on my feed every day. And then she did an open call. I say she, but I guess they're a team. They did an open call and asked people to submit for the book, which I, lastminute.com, as always, submitted, I think, 2 of my photographs, 2 of my favorite motherhood visuals. They're not of my family this time, because I think at that point there'd been a lot of things that This Is Home was in. So I felt, I'll submit other motherhood visuals that I had done. And I did, and one of them was selected. This one is actually one that has been in a few places. It's the image of a mom brushing her daughter's hair, and the daughter has that grimace on her face, you know the one.
Yes.
When your hair is being brushed. Yeah. And I love that image so much. I even have a print of it in my home somewhere, because I feel like it's just such a universal moment that everyone who has a mom or who's been a kid, you know what I mean? That moment of like having your hair brushed, especially as a black girl, having a comb or a brush put through your afro, what that feels like. I just love that moment so much. And I'm glad that it was picked to be one of the representations of Black motherhood in the book. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, I actually got a chance to see the book. What was the biggest surprise when you received the copy of the book, of which we discussed?
Yeah. I received a copy of the book, I think like a month ago or something. And the first thing I noticed was how big it was, how heavy. It's a hardcover with gold foil, I don't know what you call that thing, gold leaf writing on it. And I just expected it to be more sort of, I wouldn't say low cost or whatever, but I just expected it to be something smaller, So that surprised me. And I thought, oh, great, this is luxurious, right?
Yeah.
This is nice. And just having something quite substantial in your hand and something that's going to sit on the shelf that, my kids will look at and their kids will look at. I just loved the format of it. I loved that it's big and the images in them are big. It's not sort of disappearing, it's it's big, it's bold. I love that so much. I love that they took their time to lay it out so beautifully. Mostly single images on every page, which I know that would have taken a lot of consideration. And it also felt like an honor to be one of the ones that was selected, because I know that there were so many thousands of entries from all over the world. So it felt so nice to be one of the ones that was selected to be in this historical book.
Yeah, and there's something you touched on there, which Karni explained really well when we spoke to her, which I won't mention it here. You have to listen to the rest of this podcast to see her explanation. When Mercy mentioned she was expecting this book to be a type of way, and then when she received it, it was this massive thing. So please continue listening to this episode. It will kind of touch a nerve.
Listen.
Yeah, it will touch a nerve.
It's worth it.
And it will make, especially us,
make you think.
Yeah, it will make us make you think, like the way we think about ourselves. Yeah,
why did I think that it'd be a small thing, just a dinky thing that you put on your coffee table? No, it's a big book.
Exactly.
It's solid. Yeah,
exactly. Well, I don't know if I have any more questions, to be honest, because I would really want us to invite some of the moms who are featured in this book, of which I hope they will come and be part of our podcast community, because I want us to dive much more deeper into the book. But for now, we'll just go straight to the recording that happened at the Photo Book Cafe, the launch of the book. Listen to what Karni, the maker of the book, what she had to say, and 2 other women we got to speak to on the day. And enjoy the podcast. What I'll have to say is, apologies for all the background noise we'll be hearing. We were with our kids. I don't even know why I'm apologizing, to be honest.
Let's not apologize. Let's not do that.
But the noise you're hearing is we had our kids. It was half term. We went with them to the launch, so they were playing in the background. Before we went to the launch, we were having something to eat, so you'll hear bits of that. So
but also it's in a photo book, it's in a cafe, so there was a lot of background noise with like music and like people around as well. So I mean, it's real, right? And we're all about realness, so enjoy
the episode. We're having something to eat before we go for the book launch. That's what you're hearing, cutlery clacking. The kids are in the background chatting. I'm here mumming. My daughter has chips all over the place. Chips all over her. This is the reality. This is motherhood. Trying to shush. Trying to shush our kids, and at the same time we're like, why are we shushing them? Just let them be kids, right? You know? Anyway, it's a good day. It's a beautiful day. We are going for the iMama book launch. Yeah. We can't wait. Actually, it's starting at 5. We're still at the restaurant at 5:15. We should be leaving. No, we need to leave immediately. Anyway, we're gonna head out. Alright. See, speak at the venue.
The only people that are allowed to speak is me and the 2 parents here.
Right, we have the Photo Mama book launch at the what's this place? Photo Book Cafe. I'm here with Dola.
Hi! Hi! What's going on?
Welcome to our podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah, but we're gonna invite you formally to come and do a proper interview.
I'll be happy to.
But today we are at the book launch. So how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I'm very happy to see all the mothers, photographers, sharing the same story. Yeah, I'm excited to be here.
And how do you feel to see your photograph in a book like this?
Well, I don't know what to say. It's how do I feel? I don't know. I'm excited. I feel grateful for this community because, when you start making work, you never know how far this work is going to go. So seeing it in a book, it just means it's been documented properly and it's been archived properly. And I hope for more documentation of Black mothers and our stories, our cultures, not just this, but other mothers as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But it's also very rare to see a book about motherhood like this.
I've never seen a book about motherhood.
At this scale.
I've never seen a book about mothers from all around the world at this scale ever.
So it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Yes, it is. We need more of it. We need it. Yeah, we need more of it. Yes.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you,
And
Elsie.
please, when I send you that invite, when we send you that invite,
I'm here for you. We're sisters. We're sisters. I'm here.
Have a full chat with you.
Yeah, I can't wait. I listened to the last podcast, talking about all the experiences you guys have had. I was washing dishes when I was listening to it, and I was just like, we need more of this. We need more of conversations like this. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Elsie, and Mercy. Mwah, mwah.
Hi, for audiences, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Sure. Hello. Hi, ladies. Very, very pleased to meet you. My name is Charlotte Coulet, and I'm one of the co-designer who designed the I Mama book. I'm a French graphic designer based in London, and I just been very inspired by the I Mama project. So really glad to be involved on this.
Wow, it's really beautiful seeing another artist being involved in the project. So, how do you feel seeing the book now finished?
I was not expecting to see something less amazing than what it is now. Karni has done such a brilliant work. She's been really the force, making sure all the photographers worldwide are represented. The mothers, but also the non-binary mother. Who were involved in this project was just like, she was a leading force, making sure everyone was there, and we've been, questioning the pairing as much as we could. We've done our best to make sure it's a beautiful representation of the mother panels throughout the world. So I'm very, very proud, very proud.
I'm so, as one of the moms who's featured in this, I'm really glad to meet you and see and hear how you put it together, and hear that you're a mom as well. That's really great. And it was just so emotional when I received the book. This tangible big thing. I didn't expect it to be big as well. I don't know why I thought it'd be a smaller book. I was saying to Karni earlier, but I'm so glad did you decide on the size as well, or?
No, so all the size and the number of pages have been decided with the publisher in Germany, with Tinus, and Karni didn't want to, she just wanted to have the best, to make sure all the photographs would be showed at their best. So it's good. They've put some money into the production. They went for a foil on the cover, like a beautiful coated paper for the inside, and really try to really give the space to the photographers, because paper costs money, especially nowadays with the rising cost of living. We have to optimize the white space, and we wanted to pair without compromising the quality of each photography. So I'm very very glad how it turned out and how the caption can work, but we didn't want to overshadow the image itself, because it's so powerful, and when you actually read the caption, it gives you a bit more about the context of each photograph, and as you say, it's a very emotional piece. And I love your photograph. I just wanted to say thank you to every one of you who's been involved in the project, because I think we all felt really strong, and Karni wanted to have mamas as well involved, so we can just understand throughout, and and she achieved that.
It's us telling our stories, isn't it?
Yeah,
instead of waiting for someone else to come from wherever to tell our stories. And I'm really happy. I'm excited, and I'm really honoured to be part of. I know there were lots of entries into this, so I'm glad to have made it. Very happy.
Yes.
And it's so good to speak to you and just
thank you.
Bit more,
Thank you for asking, and it's pleasure. Thank you for the podcast and all of that. I hope it goes well, and give me the address so I can just go and listen to that.
Thank you so much for speaking with us.
No, my pleasure. My pleasure.
So hers are the big the boy and the girl. These are mine.
And you've launched this podcast for Motherhood of Photographers and Women, right?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And we can't wait to call you in for formal chats.
Amazing, let's do it.
Yeah. So you can tell us about what inspired you to
put this together because when I received my copy, I can't really describe what I felt. I was so excited. I don't know what I expected as well. Maybe a smaller book, and the size of it just kind of, I just sat there and flipping through it, and it just felt really warm inside.
Isn't it?
You.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Do you know what's interesting is look how already in the ether, in the air, you were breathing in that the book should be smaller, less, not as big, not as much gold, not as properly made.
Yes.
We have it ingrained in us, like, oh, just a little cheap magazine, just a little thing. Oh, it's just motherhood.
Yeah.
And then when people see it's like gold
It's
in a proper
substantial.
book and big. And I think it was part of my mission was to elevate it for myself, first of all, as a mother photographer and others, and to stop thinking like it was not worthy, because really we're all photographers looking at motherhood as a serious portfolio, and the fact that it hasn't been made before this is insane. How could it not have been made?
My kids are going crazy
It's
in the
genius.
background. It's shocking. So
It's
it hasn't
shocking.
been made.
It's like low-hanging fruit. I looked at all this work in pandemic. This is what happened. I looked through social media. I was photographing my own kids. I follow women and mothers, and I was like, why isn't there any book on motherhood? I know, like Sally Mann, there's like 5-6 books. Why isn't there a big portfolio looking at it? There's books about war, there's books about tables and chairs and bags and sexy women and naked women and dogs. Where's motherhood in the story? And I was in motherhood, my kid was 5, you know, and that's why I was like, well, I'll have to collect it. I'll have to make the book I'm looking for.
And were you thinking of making a book initially, or was it just, I'll just do an Instagram page?
I think I would rather have done just the book and not the Instagram. But what I realized was I had to start from somewhere, and the community building in lockdown was perfect on Instagram. But I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have a social media person, so it was a lot of work. And you know, ups and downs, social media with the censorship and all of that. But it's the perfect place to communicate when you're in lockdown, in the middle of the night, to like Australia, London, Brazil, you know, and that made the community. And once I saw there was like 50,000 submissions, I was like, okay, now it's going to be easy to make the book. But it wasn't, because then you have to do the open call and get a sponsor and get a jury to get the long list and get the funding to make the book and get a publisher who's interested and is going to take the chance. But once we had all that, it was easy to get the images because all these women were already promoting it and everyone was part of this big community. And it is a collective gaze, you know, in no way is this one woman's work, it's so many women. You know, like this network, like this spider web of eyes all around the world, and suddenly we're all meeting up. You know, there's a woman from Brazil, and there's a woman from, you know, London, and from whoever else is going to come.
Kent.
Australia, Kent.
Yeah. It's a global community.
Yeah.
Motherhood is global anyway, so
Absolutely.
it makes so much
Personal
sense.
yet universal.
Yeah, exactly that.
I'm really glad that you thought about making a book and you didn't kind of stop at the Instagram and pushed all the way to making a book, because I think having something tangible in my hands that I can flip through, that my kids will see and their kids will see, it's something after my own heart. I really appreciate it.
Exactly. No, and I want people in 100 years from now, 200, you have this battered book on the shelf, like I have my grandparents' book or whatever, and people are like, what's this? And they're like, oh, this is what motherhood looked like. This is what kids and family looked like in pandemic. And usually in big events, men are always the storytellers, eh?
Exactly, yes.
They go out to war, they tell the stories. What about us storytellers? It's telling as women and as mothers. You know, and I'm so happy that we have... I think there is something about a tangible object.
Absolutely.
And also to look at images. Instagram is... You can flip through it quickly. You can skip stuff. It's quite small. I like the gravity of like, and the weightiness of something that you can look in detail at every image and take time with it. And if you want to, you read. If you want to, you just look at one image. There's something about Instagram that's a bit scroll through, hey? You know, you're like,
You don't get to really ingest.
no.
And you can't go back.
Can't go back, and you don't look at the details. It's too small.
Yeah, that's true.
So to make it monumental, to make it like much more alive in the real world, and to even make people notice it, I think it needed to be a book. Like the articles came in heavy in the pandemic, and then heavy once the book was out. So I think in between Instagram, anyone can do an Instagram in a way, and it can be ignored more easily. So I think this is like, we were here, We existed.
We did this.
Yeah.
We did it.
These are our stories. We're the cave women, writing on those caves, drawing on those cave walls. You can't ignore it. You can't delete it. It's there.
It also, I mean, I as a mother artist, it also helps me to feel like my work is worthy. Like,
Absolutely.
because I went through, and I still occasionally go through these moments of feeling like, is my work art enough? Is photographing my kids just doing mundane things worthy of being sort of like exhibited and like held in high esteem? But it is. It's just as important as war or whatever else that people are
It's just what
documenting all
we've
over
been
the world.
fed for so many years. We've breathed it in like it's not as worthy or not as monumental but I think there's so much beauty in it, and look what we're doing. We're raising the next generation. Like, there isn't anything more important, and dads too, parents too, other carers. You know, it's just all these pieces of the puzzle that are so often invisible, you know, have to be shared more in an honest way, not influencers. Not by other male photographers, but by the people doing the work.
How have dads received this?
They've asked me if there's going to be iPapa. They've asked us if they can be part of iMama. I was like, if you feel like a mama, submit. But I tried to prioritize the women and mothers this time. But I was like, maybe an iMama too, maybe an iPapa. And also, your work is absolutely necessary. Someone has to hold the baby while the mother's photographed. Someone has to hold the fort if we go out to work. It's a joint. It's not like this excludes dads. This includes anyone who is engaging with care. You know, and the fact that there's more about mothers or from mothers here is because we've been the most invisible. And I feel like we needed the most light shone on, and I'm one of the iMamas, so I'm just shining a light on what I saw, what I needed. It doesn't mean that absolutely we could do the next chapter and include, you know, the male gaze in it as well. I think it's absolutely needed, especially in care. But you know, this is a specific celebration, and there was a limit to how much we could open it up. I was like, if you feel you're a mama, submit. If you feel you're a photographer, submit. And that's how I could level it out. And also including women who are really well known with unknown is leveling a playing field. So saying part of the motherhood penalty is that we don't often promote ourselves, we don't have time. You know, trying to mix that up is not the curators, the traditional curator does not look kindly upon that. But I feel like a change needs to come.
I am so glad it's happening. We are so glad.
I missed you with you.
I missed the call. I don't know how you missed the call.
Well, so many women write to me like, I wish I knew. But I'm like, maybe we do an iMama too. Maybe we do more things. An exhibition. A TV show. Arte was interested. There's some interest coming from TV channels. Let's see. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, you know.
Exciting.
That's cool.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm exhausted but excited. I want a picture. Wait, I'm going to bring it.
Karni, do you want quickly before, for our audience listening, could you introduce yourself properly?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Karni Arieli. I'm the founder curator of the iMama project and now iMama book. This is an introspective look at motherhood by mother photographers worldwide, looking at the light and dark of parenting and care and home from pandemic onwards. The book has 200 images from around the world, more than 50 countries, and you can get it everywhere now, and I'm really excited. This is our second book launch in London, and it's a collective vision, and I'm just really happy to meet all the iMamas here too.
Oh, thank you so much. And we can't wait to invite you formally to our podcast. Please accept our invite.
Absolutely.
We'd love to have an in-depth conversation with regards to this book, and other projects you're working on. But thank you so much.
I love what you're doing too. Absolutely. I'll be there.
Thank you. We are at the book launch for iMama.
Yeah.
And how do you feel being here, seeing the book, seeing other moms?
And speaking to them, and it's been really nice. Obviously, for so long it's been online, Instagram exchanging comments on the pictures and things like that. But it's really good to meet some of them, meet Karni, meet one of the designers of the book, and kind of hear a little bit about how they put it together. And it's such an honor to be featured in something like this, because it's a one of a kind, and I do hope that we have more of this sort of thing.
That's
you
true.
know, capturing motherhood, in particular Black motherhood. I have to say, I really want to see more of our stories told.
Yeah. Where's my pen? Mercy is just accepting a book to sign while we are
autographing a book.
autographing a book while we are wrapping up our podcast. But it's been lovely being here at the book launch. I'm sad that I'm not in the book. She is in the book.
My pleasure.
But yeah.
So we will wrap it up now.
Yeah.
If you don't know about iMama, now is a good time to check it out. Check out the Instagram page and go and pre-order the book. Get you a copy. I think this is a book that everyone should have on their shelf. It's one that future generations will see and be able to know what our stories are today. Go. Look at the project. Go, support.
We'll put all the details in the show notes.
Yep.
So please check out the show notes, or if where you're listening to the podcast doesn't have show notes, it will be on our website, which will be linked in the show notes anyway. Yeah. So, it's been amazing. Yeah, and in case you didn't know, our co-host Mercy was featured in the book.
Yeah. In case we didn't mention it already.
Yeah, in case you didn't get the gist of that. Well, McKenna, no.
Well, it's been a lovely...
No.
Yeah, that's just Elsie saying no. The mama no. Thank you for listening, everyone.
All right,
bye.
So if you're interested in joining the conversations, we have a Google form you can fill out in our show notes. If where you're listening to this podcast does not support show notes, you can find the form on our website, www.photomamapodcast.com.
And if you have questions, you can email us at photomamapodcast@gmail.com. And also, you can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at photomamapod.
See you on the next episode. Bye.
See you on the next episode. Bye.